first off, congratulations to the Pitt Panthers and Coach Narduzzi. They played a heck of a game, and they played better than us tonight. They outplayed us. They did a great job defensively. They found ways to make plays on offense in the kicking game, and we got outplayed. And they certainly deserve to be the ACC champions. I'm certainly proud of our team. We're disappointed we didn't win the game tonight. Obviously after the first quarter, we really didn't execute very well on offense. We had too many turnovers. I don't think we tackled as well as we need to on defense. But when you play a good football team, a lot of times they're responsible for that. I really, really want to thank all of our fans, how many people we had from Deacon Nation. It was awesome. All the students that came down, I think we had over 20 buses. It was just, a great scene for us and our football team, and we are so grateful for all the support that we've gotten all year, from our fans and our students and faculty members and everybody. It's really been a special season, and we're disappointed we didn't win the game. I don't think that takes away from the season we've had. We've had a great season. We're the Atlantic Division champions, and we have a chance to go get a bowl championship. And so, we have one trophy, and we have a chance to go get a second, and we need to rest up and heal up and kind of psychologically recover from this one, and our guys will bounce back, and we're excited to go to a great bowl, wherever that may be, and try to get win number 11. So with that, I'll take questions.
Can you raise your hand? Let's get the handheld mic. First question right in front of us.
Dave, were you surprised that they were able to get that much pressure on Sam?
I mean, they did some things and created a lot of one-on-one blocks, and it felt like we dropped a lot of balls. That we had a chance to get the ball deep a few times, and they weren't easy catches. They were contested catches. But we knew going into the game that, when they play that quarter system and press coverage, that we're going to have to make contested catches, and we didn't. And, if they can cover you on the perimeter, there's no reason for them to not keep heating you up. And so they just kept heating us up and creating single blocks. And, when you run the RPO system and you get blitzed, you get single blocks. And our answer is that we've got to win one-on-ones. And they won the one-on-ones in the perimeter more than we did.
Dave, you mentioned many of the things your team accomplished. What was the message you wanted to convey to your guys in that room?
Just we're disappointed that we didn't win tonight. And we kind of covered the reasons we didn't win, which I shared with you. We really didn't execute offensively in the second half at all. We gave our defense too many short fields. We had 4 turnovers. And you play a good football team, you learn to lose the turnover battle 4-0. But it does not. This shouldn't be the overriding memory of the season. We've had a great season. We're champions of the Atlantic Division. We wanted to be ACC champions, but this is still a championship football team, and we have a chance to go get a bowl championship. And I'm up here right now, and I'm gutted. I mean, I'm dying inside, and I know our players are. But time heals all wounds, and tomorrow will be rough, and Monday will be not good, but Tuesday will get better, and we'll start getting on our bowl opponent, and we'll try to go get that one. Try to go get win number 11, which would be a great accomplishment.
Dave, after those first 3 possessions that you scored the touchdowns, did they make any adjustments that kind of took you out of what you wanted to do?
I mean, they run their defense. They started blitzing a little more and pressuring a little more and creating more single blocks. We just didn't make plays. They got on edges. Our protection probably wasn't as good as it usually is. But again, when teams do that against us, that we have to win on the perimeter, and we weren't winning quick enough. And again, that's a credit to Pitt. They covered us. They did. They probably defended us as well as any football team has this year.
Dave, you talked this week about the defensive yo-yo, and I think maybe you got to see a decent performance again from that unit. But just as far as what you were seeing when the game was tight, like were you pleased enough with what they were doing to keep the team in the game?
Yeah, I mean, you look at 45 points, but how many short fields and off of punts and off of interceptions, and they had a pick six, and it's eerily similar to a game we had in the same stadium a year ago. I thought our defense certainly played well enough for us to win if we play our typical offensive game. But with, again, the turnovers and the short fields, off of the punt returns, it just, wasn't enough. So, we into this game, if we were going to win it, we were going to probably have to win it 41-34 or something like that. And so, again, I thought we played better on defense than the score indicates.
Hey, Dave, does the lack of a routine in terms of not having an opponent next week and the kids having to go to, finals next week, does that make it even tougher to kind of get back on the right side mentally and get prepared for a bowl game?
Les, it's at the end of every season. Tonight there were 12 ACC teams disappointed they weren't in this game. And there's 2 that were excited to be here. And, one is going to leave holding a trophy and feeling great about themselves, and the other is going to feel gutted and disappointed. And that's the nature of competitive athletics. So, our guys will rebound. We played a good team. It's not like we played an average football team and blew all these opportunities, and they were good. A lot of our errors today were because of how good Pitt is, and I give those guys all the credit.
Dave, along the lines of rebounding, what is your feeling on Sam at this point, having overcome all that he overcame since last year and then being back in this stadium and having another 4-interception game?
Yeah, I don't think one game – I mean, look at the year he had, Connor. I mean, he's – and sometimes when you fall behind, you force things. And you watch all the different championship games this weekend, and those plays happened a lot. You watch I was watching the Cincinnati-Houston game, and then Houston fell behind, and they may be forced to throw because they're trying to make a play, and this does not take away from the year he had, and he bounced back after last year. He's disappointed. He puts a lot on himself. I'm confident he'll bounce back. He's mentally tough, and he's our leader, and he's a great quarterback, and he'll be fine.
Back of the room.
Dave, in a year where you have few losses, sometimes there are common threads in those losses. Is there anything from this game that you feel like you saw in the other games you lost this year? Yeah, in our 3 losses, I think we turned the ball over 9 times. So if you take away those games, we were the number 1 team in the ACC in turnover margin. We created 27. We didn't get any today, and we, again, don't turn the ball over. And today we had 4. And so in our losses, we turned it over 4 times today, 3 times against Clemson, and 2 times against North Carolina. So more than half of our turnovers were in our 3 losses.
To our left.
2 specific instances I wanted to ask you about. Kenny on the first touchdown run, looking like he was going to give himself up. Have you ever seen anything like that? And also,
I've never ever seen that before. You just train your players. As soon as a quarterback starts sliding, you stop, because you touch him and it's going to be a penalty. And he started his slide, and our kids stopped playing. And I don't think he did it intentionally. If he did, he's brilliant. I just think he reacted as an athlete. But what do you tell your players? There's, the quarterback's protected, and you start a slide, and there's 2 guys that could have made a play that stopped playing because he started the slide. So that is certainly something for the rule book that I think that's something they have to look at and come up with a rule for. And there's no rule for it. So the officials were correct in letting it go. They made the correct ruling by not blowing it dead. But I said, if that's the rule, like, I'll just have my guy fake kneeing all the way down the field, and really, what do you do? So it's something that I think the NCAA is going to have to look at, and you can't fake a slide.
And the second instance, after the pick six, Sam was kind of there on the bench by himself for a little while. You went over and said something to him. What did you want to tell him in that moment?
I said, this does not take away from the season you had. It's not deja vu all over again. You've had a great year. You're a big, big reason why we're here. And we did not lose this game because of that. They outplayed us. Sometimes you leave a game and you're mad, and you feel you lost to a lesser football team. I thought Pitt outplayed us today. If we had won that game, we had stolen it. They outplayed us at the line of scrimmage. They executed better than we did, so they deserved to win that game. And it's Sam. I don't want him to blame himself. This was not like the bowl game a year ago that he's had a great year, and this one game and a few throws does not take away from that.
And Dave, along the lines of Sam, a little easier because you got another game to play. I'm sure he's going to come out fired up for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, John, it's, even when you have a good year, it's a long year. It is 13 games in 14 weeks, and I mean, we're tired, and I'm sure Pitt is too, and we're probably a little more tired now because we lost. So, it's, sometimes it's just, let's get a little break, and our players have finals, and we got to make sure we do well on those and finish up the semester strong academically. And then the bowl game's fun because finals are over. We can just do football. We can do events with them that we couldn't do a year ago. We'll go to someplace probably where the weather's warm this year, which we've not been able to do before. And, we'll have a great experience. The bowls are, they're great experiences. And I hope people don't lose sight of that as they want to keep building this playoff thing.
To our left.
Hey, Coach. Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Obviously, you've seen Kenny Pickett on tape. What are your thoughts as you walk away from this game, and what type of a quarterback do you think he might be at the next level?
I always try to avoid answering those next level questions because I'm not an NFL coach. I'm not an NFL scout. Kenny Pickett's a winner. He's a great competitor. He has physical skills. He appears to have all those intangible leadership qualities that make a quarterback great. And I certainly have great admiration for how he plays the game. So, I mean, he's a winner. And he's a competitor that I have a ton of respect for. And, he earned this thing. He really did. He earned the Player of the Year, and he earned the championship.
To our left.
Coach, from the smiles and bright eyes your players came in with today to their faces when the clock hit triple zeros, how do you guide them through that array of emotions?
Well, you want them to be disappointed. They're competitors. We're not happy to be here. We wanted to win it. But you also have to have perspective. We've had a great season. We've had some incredible wins and some great celebrations. And there were two really good teams here tonight, and one of them was going to leave unhappy, and we wanted it to be Pitt. But it's us. But again, I want them to be disappointed. I want them to be upset. That tells me they care and they're invested, and it matters. And it does matter to our team. So there's nothing I can say that can take away that pain right now. You just hope as time goes on and this gets more in the rearview mirror, that disappointment is a little bit overshadowed by everything they've accomplished this year. And to have 25,000 Wake Forest people here tonight, they created that moment. And I'm really proud of them. And one game or one loss will never change that.
All right, I remember being here 4 years ago, shaking my head, and 4 years later we're back and have an opportunity to come here and win it, and have a number 8. Kenny Pickett in the house is something special, but we got 120 football players in that locker room that did it all together. Kids made a lot of plays today, and it's a tribute to the hard work they put in. We had a great week of practice and came out today and played really well, so I couldn't be prouder of the football team. So I'll open it up with questions here.
To our left, front row.
Hey, Coach, I think it was their final 13 possessions. They didn't score. What can you tell us what you did defensively to stem the tide after they scored 3 touchdowns to open the game?
Just little tweaks and adjustments. We didn't play any, different defense than we did in the first 3 drives that were touchdowns, I believe. But that's just kind of how we've rolled. If you talk to some of the local guys, that's kind of how we've rolled all year is make our adjustments, get comfortable in the game and see what they're doing. And as soon as we know what they're doing, then we get a beat on, on exactly what they're doing. And again, our defensive line starts up front with our defensive line making plays, and our coaches did an outstanding job, on offense and defense. Mark Whipple, offensively with Randy Bates and Andre Powell, special teams coordinator, just did a great job coaching and adjusting to what they're doing.
Kenny, Dan Marino had the fake spike. Some are saying that you had the fake slide. Can you walk us through that touchdown? Was that intentional at all?
Yeah, it was intentional. I just kind of started slowing down and pulling up, getting ready to slide, and I just kind of saw their body language. Just they pulled up as well. So, I really don't know. I've never done that before, so I just kind of kept going after I was initially starting to slide.
Pat, 3 years ago, I asked you after they lost to Clemson about the direction of your program. It's only fair that I ask you about the direction of your program tonight.
Well, I guess, we're ACC champions. It's something we break down all off season from last year, when we ended the season going through winter workouts and going through spring ball, through summer conditioning with Coach Stacchiotti, who does an outstanding job as well, getting our guys trained and ready to go. I guess it's pretty good right now, Jerry. Again, we still have room for improvement. We're going to have to replace Kenny Pickett and in the future, but our program is where it needs to be. I think we've done a great job recruiting and continuing to insulate our football team with great players. And we had 7 guys drafted a year ago, the most in the ACC, and we got some more guys still coming. We got 4 guys going to the Senior Bowl, and we've got some good football players.
For both of you guys, I mean, what was it like having that kind of crowd and that kind of support follow you down from Pittsburgh?
Kenny?
Yeah, very special. Just grateful for the fans for my entire career here. Just my time, a chance to say thank you to them and everyone who supported us. And this was the goal that we've been chasing since I walked through the doors in 2017. So, it's an unbelievable feeling to go out there and accomplish that.
Coach?
It's unbelievable. Something that just really hit me. We at the end we sang our fight song in the locker room, and then Kenny said ACC champs on 3, and it was kind of like, wow, we've said that so many times. That's been the goal for 7 years. And how many times have we said ACC champs? Let's break down on ACC champs. And today, when we broke down, it was like, wow, we are ACC champs. So it means a bunch. Our fans were unbelievable. They were unbelievable all year. They showed up in Charlotte, and they're going to show up wherever we go next.
Pat, when Wake kept going after your secondary, a lot of one-on-one shots, deep shots, and especially from the second quarter on, they shut it down. What can you say about their effort, their work throughout the year to put on a performance like this against a team that had the 3rd most points scored in the country?
Yeah, I mean, again, start off a little slow, but they continued to believe in what they were doing, and again, once we found out what they were doing, how they were doing it, they bowed up, and we played some great coverage. Our guys made plays on the ball. I think we shook them up a little bit in the backfield, got him a little antsy because he did get hit a few times, and I think I think everybody's got to play until they get hit. And Hartman's a heck of a football player. He's a great quarterback, and our defense did a good job shutting him down.
Kenny, the curtain call, Pat calls a timeout. You get a standing O. What was that moment specifically like?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's special. It's been a long road. It hasn't been this my entire career, and to battle through the adversities early on and to end it off, finish it off like this, it's unbelievable. Really, I don't have too many words for it.
Second row.
Kenny, you said this is why you came back to win this championship. What does it mean to do it with the group of guys that has been here with you for so long, this senior class?
Yeah, I mean, the 2016 class, there's a lot of guys still here, and I enrolled in early, so I was here a semester after, they got here. And then, the 2017 class that I came in and standing on the stage with Dez, Cal, and Cam, Damari, all the guys up front, Gabe, Carter, and Owen. We all came in. This was the goal, and like Coach said, we worked so hard for this, and we broke down on ACC champs so many times in workouts, and that's been the main focus. So to say you're going to do something and go out and do it, it's very special.
Middle of the room.
Kenny, kind of going along with that question right there, when you decided to come back for one more year, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you would have the kind of season that you had and that your team would have the season they had?
Honestly, yes. That was why I came back, and I've felt that strong about myself and what I could do, and on top of that, the team and the talent that we had coming back. So this was absolutely everything that I had envisioned, and just to say, like I said, to say you're going to do something and go out and do it, it's a really special thing.
Back of the room.
Coach, it seemed like a lot of your pressure and success came on defending third down. How much of that was an emphasis throughout the week, and kind of as the game went on, how much did that kind of lead to your success today?
Well, if you put on the third down reel of tape on Wake Forest offensively, Hartman, and that, I think there were 6th in the country in third down offense. I think we were 7th in the country defensively. So it was a big challenge coming in. You watch third and medium and third and long, and it's like Hartman didn't miss, and he didn't miss early either. But our kids hung in there. We made a lot of plays on defense today. Third down, I don't know what the percentages were, but I would imagine we won money down. That was, again, certainly one of our keys to victory to winning this football game. We had to get off the field on third down. And really for the last 3 quarters of the game, we had to be probably 75% win on that down, and made some big plays on the ball.
We'll stay in the back of the room.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Diane Larche from the Pittsburgh Courier. Hail to Pitt. So excited and happy for you. And I know you're trying to savor the team victory tonight, but I just wanted to ask Kenny about the whole Heisman, your name being among those. I remember Coach Narduzzi, you mentioned it at the Georgia Tech game about his name circulating. So I just want to know how he feels about that.
Yeah, it's a special thing. It hasn't been done here in a long time. So it's, to have your name, being next to that award and talks of you going to New York City and that being close to home, it's special. It's a team award. I think I've improved, yes, but you look at this team, we've improved so much. I'm so grateful for every single guy in that room and the hard work that we all put in together. So I think it speaks for everybody.
Back of the room.
Hey, Coach, you talked about when you guys broke it down in the locker room, you said ACC champs, and you're just kind of digesting that right now. At the end of this journey, 7 years to get here, did you think about that? What does it really mean to you?
It means everything. That's what you work for every day, is to get to this point. If we'd have, won a couple more, and who knows where we'll end up being next week. But our kids, believed. We talk about faith and belief, and these guys love each other in that locker room. We talk about all the time about doing it together, and this is the most unselfish football team I've been around, and I think Kenny would vouch for that. Just nobody cares who gets the credit. Nobody's worried about Heisman's. They're just worried about winning the next game. And our mantra's been all year, just be 1-0. And it wasn't about winning this game to be champions today. It was about winning, that one game, getting to number 11. We want to get to number 12. I think there's been only 3 other teams in history, in Pittsburgh history, that have won 11 football games. There's been 1 to win 12 in the unfinished business to get back to 1976 when we won 12, and we expect to do that in another month.
Coach, you're the first Coastal Division team to win the ACC championship since 2010. Given how much turnover we're seeing in the Coastal Division right now, how good are you feeling about your ability to sustain success beyond this year?
It's always a work in progress. It's not easy. It's not easy to get where we got today. There's going to be a lot of hard work in the future. I'm just going to try to relax and try to enjoy the moment right now, and we'll worry about that in another month. But we got one more game to go. We're not finished yet. I think I feel pretty good. Regardless of the change in different at different schools in the Coastal. They're going to bring great coaches in, and they got great players too. It's hard to get to this point. It's hard to win 11 football games. I think the ACC conference is one of the best in the country, and I see the commissioner up there. Jim Phillips is the absolute best. We got the best commissioner in the country. I love that guy, and the ACC is going big, and it's only going to get better under his leadership.
Second row.
This could go for either of you. I know you guys usually give a 24-hour rule to enjoy the game, but with no game looming necessarily yet, how long are you guys going to take to enjoy this one?
Kenny?
Yeah, I think this one, we'll get a few more hours for this one. It's a special game to walk off the field a champion and accomplish everything you've worked for. So we're going to definitely enjoy it.
We got at least a week. I think next Saturday we'll have a little bowl practice. It'll be a bowl practice for the young guys. Let Kenny just kind of wear a T-shirt and he'll probably come out in his hat right here, looking pretty. And we'll develop some of our guys and start working towards the future early and get our guys fresh, get them healthy, and get ready for one more.
Kenny, I guess on that bowl practice and everything, is tonight your last game at Pitt, or are you playing in a bowl game?
I plan on playing.
We'll take two more questions. Front row.
Kenny, all season long, when you were breaking this guy's record and breaking that guy's record, you always told us, like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about accolades. I'm worried about ACC championship. You're here. What's that like for you now? Like, are you even starting to allow yourself to be like, wow, I really just did that. We really just did that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going home this week, and I'll be able to be with my family and kind of just take a deep breath and look back on. I've been so focused on what we've been doing, really haven't gotten a chance to sit back and take it all in. I told myself after we hoisted the trophy up, I'd be able to do that with my family, and just really enjoy it, and that means the world to me to be able to do that.
We'll take two more, and I know who you are. Second row.
Pat, Eric Hallett plays a difficult position in your defense. Gets picked on a good bit. What's it mean to see him respond to have the kind of game he did tonight?
We really missed Damar Hamlin a year ago, who's playing with the Bills, and I think Eric Hallett continued to get better every single game. And again, you mentioned it. He's got one of the toughest positions on the team, playing that free safety position. And losing Damar, I thought he was excellent, one of the best to play that position that I've been around for many years. Playing a lot of off-man coverage, and he just continued to get better. Corey Sanders did a great job coaching him up and tutoring him through the year, and playing with a lot of confidence and making plays. I'm glad he didn't get a taunting on that pick six. He was looking back. I was a little worried about him, like, just score, just get in the end zone. But I couldn't be more proud of Eric Hallett.
Last question.
Hey, Coach, just want to ask follow up on the fake slide. Dave Clawson was asked about it, and he said, it was a great play, an illegal play, but he said it's something that he thinks the NCAA should look at, because defensive backs are taught to let up on if they see a quarterback start to slide. I was just wondering, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, if it was intentional and, if you really did that, you've never seen him do that. I think it was called instincts in a heck of a football play by Kenny Pickett. I mean, he started to slide. He drug his foot, and then I think the guys were still, 10 yards away from him. The closest guy might have been 4 or 5 yards away. And I just think he thought about it, and there was a little hesitation. He was going to go down and be smart and be safe, but he was like, hold on a second. He drugged that right foot, I believe it was, and then just took off. He's an athlete, and you can't teach that. It's called instincts. And to me, it was a heck of a play. And you can watch all the slides through the years. Quarterbacks are getting whacked on those things. So to me, I'd coach our defensive guys to finish the play. And if he goes down, a lot of times we slide over top of him. And it's being a football player. You got to finish the play. There's a thing called a whistle, and when the whistle blows, you stop. But until then, you got to gather up. And if the quarterback slides too late, we've seen guys slide late and get scraped up and tattooed a little bit, and it's part of the game. Again, he never practiced it. It wasn't something we said, hey, today we're going to fake slide. It was a football play, and Kenny Pickett is the best, and that's why he's a champion.